listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
Hey gang, welcome to Soundcheck. Moose here with you, coming to you from the Moose Pit, kind of. So if you follow me on social media, number one, I'm just getting over the flu, so please bear with me in my voice. It's still not all the way back, but we roll on anyway. Soundcheck never missed a show. Don't do it. I may have rescheduled, but I've never missed one. So here's how this works, man. This is Soundcheck. We listen to a bunch of songs. I'll tell you what I think about them. I do what's called micro reviews, and then I rate them based on tacos. Yeah. So it was a listener's choice. I let we do this show by genre, and we've done, we did black metal, death metal, prog metal, doom metal. And this is number 5. The listeners chose, they wanted to hear hard rock this time. So we're going to do a bunch of hard rock music. Now, take in mind, I've never heard these songs, never heard these bands. So what you're going to get from me is a straight up, here's what I think about it review. No bias. I don't owe anything to these bands. They didn't pay to be on here. There's no pay to play crap here. But listen, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 2 hours long. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you're listening on one of the radio stations around the world playing the show, or if you're listening on iTunes or YouTube or Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, wherever the hell you're listening from. I guess we just picked up Wild Dogs Radio, so another affiliate, along with Digital Revolution and 102.7 WSNR, Boston Rocks Radio as well. Yeah, man, so Crave Radio down in Dallas. Anyway, man, we're on a lot of stations. We're on almost all digital platforms. My name is Moose, the Metal Moose, as many people know me. I've been doing this since 2014, and we have a lot of fun. And listen, we'd love to get your comments or your views or ideas or any of that fun stuff. You can text us on the text line at 424-666-7356, 24 hours a day. And we will, I will answer you back at some point in time. I can't guarantee you, but usually I get back pretty quickly. So it just depends on the day or where you're from, because if you're texting from another time zone or something, I can't tell you it's going to be immediately. But listen, really, I'm going to need to do is just ask you guys to buckle it up and get ready for this hard rock edition, which kind of blows my mind you guys picked hard rock because you're such a metal crowd. I thought they're going to go for grindcore, no doubt, and everybody went for hard rock. Shows what the hell I know. I'm just the host. This is the Moose. This is Soundcheck. We're going to kick things off with a band called Gag Reflex. Earth Fault Develops. Interesting name. Shall we do this? Let's do this.
Suppresses the gag reflex.
pretty interesting there with gag reflex, because I don't really even know anymore in today's standard what is hard rock. I guess like Alter Bridge, maybe Godsmack or something like that, right? 3 Days Grace. I don't. One thing I like about hard rock bands is that they don't call themselves metal, and I appreciate that. The ones that do call themselves metal, like Disturbed or whatever, it's just not metal to me. It's hard rock. So it was a good tune. It had a lot of good pop sensibility. I didn't like the guitar tone. I thought the bass tone, it was almost like uncomfortable. It had like Violent Femmes kind of thing going on there. I didn't like the bass. I think the guitar tone should have been way more thick. The bass was overly prevalent. Like I said, kind of Violent Femmes-esque. I would probably give it like a 3 taco. It was all right, pretty cool. Like it's going to be an interesting show for me because, like I said, I don't know what people call hard rock anymore. I think I named some of the bands. Shinedown, is that another one? And what Alter Bridge is like the Creed band without Scott Stapp, right? So, yeah, man. So I'm going to listen and give my best opinion. To me, hard rock was, Dokken and Motley Crue and, stuff like that. Trying to think of another great example of, just good hard rock music. I'm going to come up with some eventually. There's a lot of cold medicine going on in my brain and my body. And, as you can hear, I'm sick, and my voice isn't normal. If you listen to the show, it's a little deeper register than normal because my throat is just jacked up. So, coming up next is a band called the Pearl Hearts. And listen, looking at the picture of this band, I don't see hard rock at all. It just, to me, I could be wrong. It looks kind of alternative, maybe indie kind of stuff, but we're going to give it a shot because it says hard rock on the press sheet. So we're gonna play it. This is Soundcheck. Buckle it up, Buttercup. Pearl Hearts.
Where you get rated in tacos. Only on Soundcheck.
Your head different ways. You got that blood on your face. You got that LLA, Lara. You got that systematic shade, Lara. You always end up in a daze, Lara. You take a pill for the taste and end up dancing for days. You got that LLA, Lara. Lara, she'll wipe the snot from your face. Lara, that girl, she's such a disgrace. She's such a disgrace. L.A. Hey. L.A. Hey. I tell you, you should come with me, Lara, and bring your sister for the scene, Lara. You got that cool friend named Dave. He don't know how to behave. You got that LLA, Lara. I wanna try on all your clothes, Lara. Pick you apart just like a rose, Lara. I wanna knock down your door and give you hell for some more. You got that LLA, Lara. Lara, she'll wipe the snot from your face. Lara, that girl, she's such a disgrace. Lara, she'll wipe the snot from your face. Lara, that girl, she's such a disgrace. L.A. Hey. L.A. Hey. And here she comes looking so good, Lara. She always sparkles like she should, Lara. Always the queen of the party. She looks so good being naughty. You got that LLA, smile from your face. Lara, that girl, she's such a disgrace. Lara, she'll wipe the smile from your face. Lara, that girl, she's such a disgrace. Lara, she'll wipe the smile from your face. Lara, that girl.
Where you get rated in tacos. Only on Soundcheck.
I've talked about it before on the show, and I'll stand by it as long as I live. There are some songs that are just so annoying that they end up being hits, and that has a real Hey Mickey kind of vibe to it. Avril Lavigne's I Want to Be Your Girlfriend, or whatever that is. It's got that chanty kind of for non-blondie kind of girl, the guitar tones are just ridiculous. But that's one of those. What was that band I played? God, I can't remember what they're called. It's some of the guys from System of a Down have a side band, and System of a Down's a great example. Their songs are just so damn annoying they get stuck in your head. That's one of those. That song would be a hit if it were on Big Rock Radio, no doubt in my mind. It needs a lot of production work, but it's got that grit. It's got that. It's kind of pissy, so I think that would be a big hit in the right hands in the right places. I personally give it like a 3.5. It was not a great tune, but as a a sound guy and a talent scout kind of guy, I would work with that band because I think that it's snarky. You know what I mean? It's just snarky, and I think that would make enough people mad, and it would stick in enough people's heads that it would work, man. So, what are they called again? Was it? I can't remember their name. I just remember I saw the picture and I was like, "What is this?" The Pearl Hearts, yeah. So, yeah, man, I can see if somebody gets a hold of that and takes that in the right direction. That could be. And here's the other deal too. It wasn't overly quote unquote metal, so it's kind of one of those crossover deals. It's like a song that a girl who likes Taylor Swift could like that song as well. Definitely Avril Lavigne, or even somebody that was into the Go-Go's way back when. So liked it. Liked the attitude. It was just I was like, this song is pissing me off because I'm going to be in the bed tonight going, hey, Laura, L-A-U-R-A, hey. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, kind of Ramonesy too. Pretty fun. This next band has probably the best band name I've ever heard in my entire life. And band names are such a big deal to me. So this one, I'm expecting a lot out of this band. They're called Gigantelope. That's right, Gigantelope, with a song called Galactic Outlaw. I can't wait to hear this. I'm going to buy a shirt. I just have to.
Want to know if you suck?
Hey, you suck.
Send your music to Soundcheck. Find Soundcheck on iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and in your local taco truck.
All right, Gigantalope, like I said, probably my most favorite band name I may have ever heard. Really cool name. Song-wise, it was okay. It has the makings of something really good. The production values was really muddy, and that was my biggest problem with the track, because there was no definite. It didn't have a defined chorus or a bridge. It was just kind of like one monotone kind of a deal all the way through. The little bass break at the end was the closest thing they had to a definitive, in that, a breakdown in the tune. I like what's going on. I even though I'm not a fan of the production values, or the fact that it didn't have, a chorus or a bridge or anything that I could hear, I'm going to give it a 4, because I think they're on the right path. They just haven't really, in my opinion, from that one tune, haven't learned how to really write a tune yet. There's nothing in that song that made it stick in my head. I liked the lyrics. The lyrics were gritty, street smart, and I liked the attitude behind the song. But yeah, man, they're on the right road. If somebody will take some time and talk with these guys, and if they're willing to listen and learn, and they can write a tune that has a hook to it, and like I said, if it's just put together right, there are pieces of it, because it was just one big slap to me, which is, sometimes you can get away with that, if you're like Pantera, but that they're not ready for that yet. So I liked it though. The Gigantalope, just the name itself gets you 3 tacos. I mean, how do you even try to say that that's not cool? His next band name is pretty cool though. It's just I think it kind of speaks for itself. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, hard rock. That's the whole party time. Here's how it works. This band's name is Thrust, with a song called The Sorceress. Yeah, the Thrust. That's kind of cool. What band are you in? Thrust. Suck it. I don't know.
Hey everyone, this is Abby from X Method here in California, and you're listening to The Moose. Keep it metal.
Feel the silence in the air.
Hey, this is Chadwick from 3 Left, and you're listening to Moose on the Soundcheck.
So thanks to the guys from 3 Left for living with that bumper, right? Thrust, man. So this is where it gets kind of blurry to me. Was that hard rock or was that heavy metal? Because to me, that was heavy metal. That was traditional metal. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Dio, kind of, Black Sabbath-y metal. That was traditional metal. I wouldn't call that hard rock. I would call that metal. That was spikes and leather kind of stuff. And I'm into it. I love it. I totally give it a 4.5 taco. That's you just can't go wrong with that sound, man. When you're paying homage to, the gods of metal, and you do it well, because that was done really well. That didn't sound to me like a, just a chippy bunch of dudes trying to sound like Priest. That was a nicely done deal. It's one of those songs, and I've said this on the show before, if you've listened to Soundcheck before, it's one of those tunes that if it would have come on the classic rock station while I was driving down the road, I wouldn't be like, what is this crap? It would just fit right in. It's like my guys in Wretched, when I listen to Wretched, I'm like, this just sounds like it belongs. And they pull it off in such a good way, and that's impressive to me, because there's a lot of bands that try to run that traditional heavy metal train, and it just doesn't quite work out. So once again, my name is Moose. This is Soundcheck. If you've never listened before, thanks for listening, whether you're listening on a station or a digital media platform. I do this. I did the Metal Moose as well. Also work for Black Lion Records. Starting to work a little bit with Slip Trick Records. I do Metal Coffee PR, and I help bands with PR if they want help with PR. That's one of the things I do. Yeah. So I'm all over the place on the net, man. I'd love to hear from you and talk with you. And listen, if you're somebody out there who's trying to change the music scene, trying to make it to where bands don't get screwed and ripped off and have to sell tickets to play shows and stuff like that, listen, I'd love to work with you. I've been building a network for a long time, and it's grown really big. So the more of us we can get together that are trying to do things for the bands as opposed to the promoters, using the bands, promoters and venues who use bands to make money. It's not supposed to work that way. You pay the entertainment. The entertainment doesn't pay you. I mean, last time I went to the movies, Matt Damon never handed me any money, so just throwing that out there. Coming up next is a band called Jackknife Seizure. Great name. Fornicate Galactic? Weird. Space sex. Let's check it out.
Hey, baby, this is Rachel Record from the Crash Dolls, and I'm a chick that rocks on Metal Moose.
All around you, you've caught it atmosphere. Live deep into the cosmos. See the cosmic soup that's there. The planets stay aligned around stars and galaxies.
Man, that's an old one. I pulled that from way back. So Jackknife Seizure, a little lengthy, but I'm okay with that. Had a lot of Alice in Chains influence, real trippy. And let me tell you something, whoever did the vocal recording, or I don't know if the vocals came up with the idea or whatever, but the vocal harmonies make that song. Without those harmonies, it's really dull. And those harmonies, and listen, that's what, excuse me, I just completely burped and it was awful. So Alice in Chains was really good at taking those dull, dreary, minor key, sad tones and then making them peak out with those vocal harmonies. I loved that. I would give that a 4.75 taco. That was cool. It was, it almost, I'm not sure, it edges on the line of kind of doomy alt kind of thing, because it was real trippy. But I thought it was really good. I can't wait to tell Robert Pilson about that. Super stoked, man. That was really good. Jackknife Seizure. That's a band. We'll have to see if those guys want to get into the Rumble, because I think that they could take on some bands pretty heavy. That's music to me that would be popular. And sometimes music that won't be popular is my favorite music. So don't be confused when I say that. This isn't just about popularity. It's about the songwriting and the craftsmanship and the and everything, the vocal phrasing and the guitar tones, all that stuff. And that was a really good, good mix of everything there, man. So I totally dig that. I just got word from Lisa Lemon that we got our Punch Cabbie interview, which is pretty cool, man. They're one of the bands that signed up for Metal Coffee, and so Lisa did a audio interview with them. I guess she said it's about 15 to 20 minutes long. We'll be posting that up sometime this week. Coming up next, earlier we had, what the hell was that band called? Gigantalope? Yeah, Gigantalope. Now we have Titanosaur, which those two should totally tour together. Just saying. Titanosaur with Escape Velocity on Soundcheck.
Hey, rock fans, this is T. Singh,
Matt Vogt, Rob Pace,
and Joe Sanchez, and we're from
Drama Queen.
You're listening to the Metal Moose Radio Show, where Oklahoma rocks.
Oh
I'm gonna have to pass on the Titanosaur. Said the vocal just to me was brutal, not in a great way, very grinding, just Ben Stein monotone kind of thing. So for me, musically it was okay. The production was, I don't know, about a B plus or a C. It wasn't very sharp, a little muddy. That didn't care for the song itself. There's some things that you can usually say that have a redeeming quality. The music was all right. I feel like the band would do better with a different vocalist. That's, I know that's not what you want to hear, and certainly not what the vocalist wants to hear. And hey, listen, how many bands were told to get a new singer, like UT, and they seem to do okay. So you don't have to listen to me, but I'd give it about a 3. It's about a 3 taco deal. It sounded kind of bar band to me, and so just. It's not quite for that next level, and I think that a vocalist, another vocalist, would serve the band better. That's just my own opinion. Hey guys, listen, make sure and golly, you know what? I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look what the Twitter and Facebook question of the week was. We moved this week. I did my last show on last Tuesday. And it's just been a whirlwind ever since moving to the new house. And so I don't even remember what the hell the question was. So I'm going to have to go back and look and see how the votes are, because I don't know. But we'll find out here in a minute. And so also want to say thanks to Melissa over at the Metalhead Box, because she's cool. And, yeah, man, she's one of the coolest people out there in the biz. Hey, did I mention I'm also going to work with a Rock Avenue Records as well. So a lot of stuff going on, guys. Good for you and me. A Light Within on Soundcheck. Let's do this.
You're listening to the Metal Moose.
Rocks Canada.
This kind of reminds me of Good Will Hunting. It's like this band that has a disgusting gift for. There's so much texture and voicing and soundscaping going on in that song, and it's brilliant. It's a beautiful, beautiful talent to have. Bands like The Cure and Pink Floyd and Catatonia, and there's so much beauty in that music. But it was overvisioned. There was too much, and there wasn't anything away from the the soundscaping to break it away, which is an important deal when you have music full of textures like that. To break away for just a moment with a key change, maybe, or just a straight on riff, something straight ahead and not textured and voiced like that, just to bring out the beauty of the texture that you're putting into the song. I really liked it. I think that there's a lot of places you can go with this, but you've got to be able to break away from that that texturing. I think you should base your music on your texturing and voicing, and the way the open chording and the bass tone was a little deep. I mean, I was like, good God, it's beautiful, but man, it's thick. So yeah, if I had the chance to sit in a room with those guys, a light within, I would say, okay, listen, let's play a little 3-chord ditty for about 2 measures with just straight balls out distortion and then you go back into the it just makes it stand out. So anyway, man, it was beautiful. I'd give that a 4.5. It needs a lot of direction to me. Production was pretty good. I thought the bass was a little heavy in the mix, like I said, but I liked it. I think that there's stuff that could really happen with that band. You could stay textured 100% like that, but then you're shooting at a very, very thin audience, just to make your music more. And listen, man, lots of bands have done it, and The Cure is a great example. They wrote some of the best pop songs ever. But when you listen to a Cure record, there's so much ambience and spatial tones and all that stuff. So, you make yourself a little bit more wider appeal, and then you have more time and more money to spend on making those soundscapes. Really good, though, man. I liked it. Coming up next is a band called Kid Brother with a song called Moon. So we'll check that out on Soundcheck. I figured out the Twitter thing. We'll get to that next.
The Moose Rocks, Texas.
I call out your strength. I want what they carry. My friend called bloodless. I call myself useless. Still feel sensitive to it. I thought of you yesterday. Should've told me not to be so coy. My fingers bristle, shaky to touch, and it's happy if you stay. diamond white hot. The cushion that did choose on my finger. Lay your hand held until my feel still. How from up and just another animal. I've forgotten that you couldn't eat. I thought you'd forgotten how unclean. Oh, how you hated unclean. I thought you hated me. I thought I saw you in my sleep that kept your arms reach. You couldn't look at me. I tell you right and I would white hot. The cut to the ditch is on my finger. Lay your hand held until my feel still. How from up and just another animal. Not forgotten that you couldn't eat. I thought you forgot how unclean. Oh, how you hated unclean. I thought you hated me. I think I saw you in my sleep that kept your arms reach. You couldn't look at me. There was nothing around the table. Just a hand and the black expected. The room had color. The room had nothing. Nothing but us. Nothing but us.
Find Soundcheck on iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and in your local taco truck.
Kid Brother there, man. And for my money, so far, the best song on the show. Had that Alkaline Trio meets Hawthorne Heights, kind of, even a little bit of that rancid punk vocal. That may be more of a punk band than a hard rock band, but that was good. That was a song. The guitars had emotion, the vocals had emotion, the production was just right. It wasn't too clean, wasn't too dirty. It was nicely done. I was taken on a trip that took me somewhere else, and that's what a good song does. It takes you to another place. Five Tacos, man. Excellent song. I know that maybe there's some people listening to the show going, what, dude, that wasn't even metal. Okay, that's fine. We don't have to argue that point, but whatever you want to call it, it was good. So, wow, Kid Brother. I remember when I got this song, and I'm always such a guy that looks at names, and I looked at the name, and I was like, Kid Brother, it just doesn't sound, it just doesn't even sound appealing to me. And when we were coming up to the song, I was like, oh, here's that song, that Kid Brother song. And wow, so I'm really taken aback, kind of knocked back on my heels. Really excellent song. So congratulations, guys. I liked that. So yeah, the Twitter, Facebook poll question last week was, is a heavy song fast or is a heavy song slow? What is heavy, fast or slow? And the winner was fast. And I'm kind of blown away by that because I'm completely the opposite. Speed to me is not heavy. Slow is heavy. Crowbar is heavy. Corrosion of conformity type of negative. There's so much heaviness. And, fast is, just doesn't, I don't know. It's not the same to me. But you guys win. It's your poll. So, Twitter question, fast songs are heavy. Unto the Wolves on Soundcheck coming up right now. This will be fun.
Hey, this is Curtis Don Vito from Snoo, and you're listening to Moose Metal Radio. That's right, the only place on earth where a moose will play you all the loud stuff, all the stuff you want to hear, all the stuff I want to hear, all from the Moose.
The storm cannot be weathered. People cannot see. There's blood in the water.
Listening to Soundcheck with the Moose.
There are only 2 or 3 bands that I can say have this, what I consider a problem, but a good problem, and that is when the vocal out emotions the music. That vocal in that tune was fantastic, and it was more powerful than the music behind it. But to listen, there are a couple bands that are like that I appreciate. King's X being one of them. Doug Pinnick's vocals are so deep and amazing. Kill Switch Engage is another one. Not Jesse, just Howard. Just incredible with his over emotional vocal performances. That was a good tune, man. I like it. There's a lot of good stuff going on there. It's another one of those songs that has an overabundance of power in the wrong order, maybe in the wrong places. It's really good. I think that a lot of people would like that. It's got a good pop sensibility to it as well. That has a lot to do with the vocal, with a lot of people being able to, whether or not you're a fan of hard rock or metal, you could listen to that tune and go, man, that singer, he's got it going on. So, yeah, man. So I'd give that a 4.5. I'd love to be in the studio with those guys and go, hey, wait a second, let's put this here, and let's put that there, and let's go ahead and kick some mid into that guitar, and let's pull that bass tone down here, and how about a keyboard here, just play around with the sound, because there's so many good things going on. It would be fun to play around with that sound and see what we could do. Really good though. I'm impressed. Man, we're an hour and 10 minutes into the show. I still have a voice. This is pretty good. I'm drinking lemonade and trying to keep myself hydrated. So I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me. And listen, I want to thank everybody that's been listening to the Soundcheck Rumble. If you don't know what that is, every week we have 2 bands go up against each other, and it's not a battle of the bands. It's a battle of the fans, because the people that listen to it pick the winner. And they text in their votes, what band they like more. And for the second week running now, 3 Left is the champion. This week they're taking on Killing Grace from Nashville, right? Nashville, Tennessee, right? And so it's going to be a good race there. 2 really good bands slugging it out. If your band is good and you think you want to be on the Rumble, just let me know. All you got to do is send your music in and say, hey, Moose, we'd like to be on the Rumble, and we'll make it happen. So it's a good way to get the band's exposure, get more people to listen to both bands. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. Coming up next is a band called Def Radio, which I hope it's not so bad we need to be deaf. Let's find out.
Where you get rated in tacos, only on Soundcheck. Want to know if you suck?
Hey, you suck.
Send your music to Soundcheck.
Def Radio. It's another one of those tunes. Man, listen, the fun factor is really high. Like 4 Tacos. You're jamming out. It's fun. It's bluesy. It's spunky, and you got to kind of tap your foot. And song wise, it's another one of those tunes that could come on just about any rock station, anywhere, and you may not know it, but you wouldn't be like, this is garbage, you'd be like, yeah, I wonder who is this? You know what I mean? It just kind of fits. It belongs. It has a little bit of a punky edge to it, but the bluesiness of it was kind of cool. And in the beginning, it almost sounded like a Level 42 or something. You know, it had that real 80s vocal, 80s pop vocal kind of sound, and then it, you know, kicked in and got a little cranky. And I was like, hey, this is pretty. It's kind of interesting. I like it. I think it's about 30 years too late, but it's still really good. So I think that could do well. Def Radio, that was nice. So yeah, listen, earlier we were talking about the Facebook Twitter poll. Social media is a huge part of what we do. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, all of those places, we're there. We'd love to find you. So just put Soundcheck on Facebook, Soundcheck Podcast. Then there's the Soundcheck text line, the Soundcheck Twitter question of the week, the Soundcheck Rumble. There's a bunch of stuff, Soundcheck. So we tried to, cover the full spectrum. I'm a propaganda artist. It's what I do. It's lots of logos and lots of music and lots of posts, and I keep talking. So the people that don't like me don't have to listen, but everybody else listens, and we have a good time. So there's about 30,000 of us on social media that get this done. So find us on social media. We will talk to you. It's family, man. It is. Coming up next is a band called Left for Red with a tune called Utopia. Very hard rock name and song title. Let's see.
Find Soundcheck on iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and in your local taco truck.
Your pariah, beat me down.
us to the Soundcheck Taco Line, 424-666-7356.
Left for Red there. Pretty damn good. Love the vocal harmony. The vocal harmonies save the song. I think it probably verges a little bit more towards metal than hard rock. You know what I mean? That was, leaned a little heavier. But the harmonies were fantastic. Now listen, initially, I'm still not a huge fan of the what I guess you would call the cleaner vocal in the verses, but the harmonies really saved it. Nice. Also a good tune. It was written well. It has good movements in a chorus and important things that, songwriting is a big deal of being a good band. There's a lot of great bands that can't write a song, and there's a lot of really good songwriters who can't get in bands. It's a never-ending circle. So just I like the tune. I liked the production. I think that could go a lot of places. That is arena rock ready kind of stuff to me. So yeah, man, make sure and contact me if you guys want me to do some PR for you. I think I can get you out there to some good people, because this is what I do besides doing the podcast here. I do PR, and we get your music on the desk of record labels and zines and radio stations and podcasts and all that stuff. So get you some interviews and all that stuff. So yeah, man, just give me a contact on Facebook. And we'll talk about it, or I'll contact you, one of the two. Coming up next is a band that's you can't have a name with Wizard in it without being kind of stoner rock. I'm guessing this is stoner rock or fuzz rock or whatever you want to call it. The band's called White Wizard, and it has to be about dope. Has to be. The song's called Storm on the Shores, and like I said, I just don't believe in a band with the name Wizard that's not, about weed and stuff. So, listen, nothing against that. I'm just saying it'd be very weird for a band to be named White Wizard and just be like a hard rock kind of Foo Fighters band. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but I love the Foo Fighters. And one of these days I'll get to see them live. Probably on their third reunion tour. Until then, it's White Wizard, Storm on the Shores. Storm the Shores. Yeah. On Soundcheck.
Is this mic on? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is a Soundcheck.
What's up? This is Vil from Fuck the Facts, and you're listening to The Moose.
How could I not think about power metal? How did I miss power metal with White Wizard? That shows what the flu does to your brain, man. Listen, I used to be into power metal, Hammerfall and, that kind of stuff. But I kind of grew out of it. It just, kind of became silly to me, but that was good, man. To me, it was traditional power metal, lots of twin guitar leads, heavy vocal performance, nicely produced. That band could open up for Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or Saxon and get away with it. Pretty cool. I'd give that a 4.5 taco. Nice. I'm truly surprised it wasn't about bong riffing. But then as soon as I heard it, I was like, of course, White Wizard. Hello, it's power metal. Yeah, so pretty cool. I like it a lot. So we can have fun with that. That's something you could hear on a lot of different platforms. Like, like your Slayer guys will, dig that. It has that 3 inches of blood kind of gallopy Iron Maiden thing to it. And then your people that like Camelot and Gamma Ray and Rhapsody. Rhapsody. They would like it too. So it's kind of a, cross the scene band, I guess. This next band, they wrote when I announced we were going to play them on the show, and they were very kind to say thanks for playing our music, and I always like that. It's cool when bands do that, notice that they're being played. Thank you very much. That's why I try to tag every band. Sometimes I can't tag them because they're not on Facebook, and I don't know, that's weird to me. If you're a band, you should be on Facebook, but it's a pretty big media platform. Just throwing that out there. Get yourselves on Facebook. All right, so Faces of Sarah with a tune called Impurity. I'm kind of stoked about this one because I like the name of the band. So Sarah, it's got a bunch of faces. We're going to find out right now on Soundcheck with the Moose, coming to you from the Moose Pit here in OKC, Oklahoma. Let's do this.
You are listening to the Metal Moose.
Never
to the Metal Moose.
And now, Faces of Sarah, man, let me tell you something. That was incredible. That was an awesome, awesome song. The emotion in the guitars, the way the bass carried the underlying, yeah, man, that is, I haven't felt really about a band like this since the last time I heard, or the first time I heard Saigon Kick. It had such a passion to it, and the production. The only thing I didn't like about it, I thought the guitars could have been a little bit more sharp, a little mud to them, just to kick that extra. But I think that the vocal made up for that. Really, really excellent sound. That is, gosh, I don't know. It's kind of like that Moonspell, Saigon Kick, and it's just got that desperation in the vocal. I thought it was amazing. That's a band that I would shop to labels. That's a band that I would send to the people that I know at labels and say, look, these guys, this is awesome. It's different. It's out of the box. It's not your normal cookie cutter crap. Really, really good. I'm going to contact you guys on Facebook, and I'm going to say, hey, listen, I would love to send that out to people. Now, listen, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they're going to sign you. I can't guarantee anybody anything other than airplay and video distribution and stuff like that, and interviews. I can get all that stuff. That's no problem. Getting you signed is a whole different deal. But that's a band that I would feel comfortable telling a label, these guys need some attention. That was excellent. I would love to see your live show, because the live show is also very important. And I would also like to hear more of the record. I need to go back and see if I have the full record so I can listen to it. But I'm interested enough in it to listen to. You know how many bands interest me enough to want to go and listen to the whole album? Not very many. Ghost, Ghost was one of the last bands that did that. Volbeat. I was interested enough in those bands to go, I think I need to check this out, and I ended up loving both of them. So, but that was really good, man. That was excellent. I'm really kind of, that's going in the best of 18 folder. I'll tell you that right now. That tune really stands out from what we've played today. And listen, we played some really good bands. Played some really different types of rock and hard rock. That to me was like the perfect balance of both. It was rock. It was because it almost had the emotion in the vocal was it almost reminded me of like an REM kind of, not in the tone, not the register of the voice, but the way that he carried the emotion of the vocal. It was excellent. Man, that was good. That was awesome. That's another shirt I need to buy right there. Faces of Mona, 5 damn tacos. Really, really good. Coming up next is a band called Martir de Mona. I don't think this is an English band. We're going to find out. I got to sneeze. See ya.
Hey, this is Chadwick from 3 Left, and you're listening to Moose on the Soundcheck.
Secrets of adventure rebel.
This is Erickson from Kane, and you are listening to The Moose.
Well, they sing in English. Those were English lyrics. So listen, here's the deal. That to me, now listen, this isn't anything against Faces of Sarah or anybody else that's been on the show. That to me was a crafted arena rock fist pumper. That's the kind of song that you really literally should, not just could, but you should be hearing that on Big Rock Radio. That's just as good as Alter Bridge. That's just as good as Shine Down. The production was slick. The vocal was excellent. It was pump your hands in the air kind of. That was a modern day hard rock tune, in my opinion. And listen, I may be way behind on that, but to me, that was, I can see that band opening up for the bands I just named. That band should be on tour and on the road and all of those things. It's another band I would shop to labels. I would say, listen to this. And I think that labels might be more apt to pick up a band like that just because the package is ready. You know what I mean? Nothing needed to be done to that tune. It was perfectly executed. The production was disgustingly good. I like that a lot. I like that. I also give that a 5 taco. Nice. That's 2 bands in a row that I would feel comfortable contacting people I know at labels and saying, yeah, you're going to like this, man. This is really, really good. So, hey, contact me or I'll contact you. That's something that I would love to people say that I work for both of those last 2 bands. Hey, I work for, Martyr de Mona and Faces of Sarah, and I think they're awesome. That's just me. So, I've been kind of working for bands doing the podcast for years now, and I thought, man, I need to do some PR. I know a bunch of people, and I know there are labels always out there looking for bands, and they're, radio shows looking for bands to play. There are people looking for interviews to do, and there are blogs and zines and reviews and all that stuff. And I thought, I can do this. I can help people do this. And so I've been doing it since January 1st, and I'm so lucky to be working with some great bands like Poker Face and Gone by Sundown and Requiem for Oblivion. Also Punch Cabbie. You guys should, if you don't know anything about Punch Cabbie, you need to get into them quick. Great band. As a matter of fact, we just got their interview in tonight, so really good. I'm lucky, so I'd love to be working with some of you guys. If you want to get on my PR, which is Metal Coffee PR, just let me know. No Self, great hard rock band name. Casting Stones, also a great name. We'll find out right now on Soundcheck. It's Moose.
Hi, this is Pete Ash from Vanity Boulevard. You're listening to the Metal Moose.
Quit! that you will ever be. What makes you think that I give a what makes you think that you own everything? What makes you think that I give a fuck? And no one knows, and no one knows, because it's so goddamn low, so goddamn low. Now you're nothing at all. Now you're nothing at
This is Tammy from Van Halt, and you are listening to The Moose.
I guess the only problem that I had with that song is I really like for a band to have some aggression, you know, to sound like they might be a little angry. If those guys could throw in some anger, maybe some profanity, we got us a song right there. Really good, man. It had the vitriol, it was kind of Linkin Park turned up to 15. It was like much anger, but great melodies, great sampling in the tunes too. I like that. I think that is, to me, that's a little bit heavier, you know, than maybe your average hard rock, because I would go ahead and call that metal. But that was a good tune. That's 3 in a row. That's 3 bands in a row that I would feel comfortable telling not only labels, but radio stations and just people in general, you need to listen to these bands. Wow, it's been a good run here. Faces of Sorrow, Martyr, Demona, No Self, All Get White Wizard was amazing. We've had some excellent Kid Brother was another great band. We've had some good ones on this show, man. These are bands that if they, you know, signed up for the Rumble could really, really make some noise. And I'm going to tell you right now, I contacted all of those bands that I just named off. And I said, hey, I would love to work for you. So just don't, I'm no shame in my game, man. I want good things for these bands. And if I can help do that, I'm going to do it. So yeah, wow, that was excellent. Great tune. I need to move this Faces of Sarah over to the old best of, because that's that right now. Those last 3 songs are all candidates, but the Faces of Sarah's going in there most definitely. I would give that a 4.5 taco. I think the kids would dig that as much as the people like me. This next band I'm excited to hear because I've heard a lot of good things about them. I never heard them personally, but everything I've read about them has been excellent. They're called Fractions, and we're going to check it out. I hate math, but it's a good band name. We'll check it out right now. Forces on Soundcheck.
Hey, this is Jake, the drummer for the Violet Hour, and I'm here to tell you the Moose totally rocks.
something that is sleeping behind my eyes. Crash beneath the surface now and surely you will find fractals of reality are piercing through my skin. This meat suit is weak. Feel my power surge. Walls are wearing thin. Angelic decay setting in. Notice all the like I say will
an absolute stunner, worth the hype. Believe the hype, man. Fractions. Wow. You know, one of my biggest pleasures of doing this show is to all of the morons out there who think that if it ain't on the radio, it ain't no good. You're an idiot, man. I have played some of the most talented bands. It's so much better than what's on the radio. And this show just proves that we've played 4 or 5 bands that should be on the radio, touring, and just killing it. Super impressed by the talent that I've learned and got to hear over the past 4 years of doing this. And even before that, when I was doing Dirt Talk and Rapture Radio and Static Mass and all of that. When I was working for the Metal Observer, I was doing mostly signed stuff, you know. But wow, man, God, the talent is great, so good out there. Yeah, this is one of the best shows that talent-wise I've done in a long time. There's a lot of damn good music here that is widely acceptable. You know what I mean? I'll play a lot of death and black metal that's, you know, never going to be on the radio because it's just too extreme. And listen, don't get me wrong, I love the extreme metal, but I'm also a big fan of songwriting and songs with emotion and feelings, and you know, it's okay to sacrifice a goat every now and then. That's fine, but we also, you know, like, you know, women and love, and we have hearts and stuff. I know this is a metal show, don't tell anybody, but songwriting's a big deal to me, and production and all of the things that make songs great. And wow, good show. I'm taken aback by what we heard tonight. Listen, man, thanks so much for listening to the show. It's amazing. It gets more popular all the time, which is great. Like I said, we just picked up a new affiliate with Road Dogs Radio on Digital Revolution as well. Crave Radio down in Dallas, Texas. 102.7 WSNR. Also on, Metal Mayhem Radio in Italy. Red Dragons Radio. Red Earth Radio. Yeah, there's a bunch. I don't remember them anymore. And, of course, on all the digital platforms. And, yeah, so when a band wins the Rumble, their music goes onto the Soundcheck Spotify list. So if you want to know about the Soundcheck Spotify, I'll post it up on the Facebook page again. If you have Spotify, you can have it. It's a free deal, and it's got a bunch of amazing bands that we've played on Soundcheck over the years, and we just keep adding to make the playlist better. So, yeah, it's kind of a prize in itself to be put on that list, because it means that not only do I dig you, but the fans dig you. So, yeah. So, man, listen, I've had a lot of fun. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm sick and that I sound like hell, and I know the production's not fantastic. It's kind of a makeshift studio tonight because, yeah, don't even want to get into it. But thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I mean, it is a big deal to me when you listen to the show. It really, really is. This is Soundcheck from Oklahoma City. My name is Moose. I say it at the end of every show. I'm going to say it again. You wake up, you kick ass, you be kind, you repeat. That's how we do things around here. You have the power to change somebody's life just by smiling at them. You can change somebody's day. You can make their whole world change. Use that power sometime, man. It's a good deal. You hold a lot of power in your hands. Just take advantage of it and make somebody feel good. Take care of each other, guys, and have a safe one. Have a safe weekend. We'll see you next Tuesday. And until then, hopefully I get better, and I want you to do me a favor and take care of yourselves and take care of each other. See you next time.
All rights to the music heard on the Metal Moose are reserved by the authors, their labels, or authorized representatives that permitted their material to be used. The Metal Moose holds no rights to any music played on the show. Go to themetalmoose.com to submit your music to be heard on the show. The Metal Moose accepts donations of money, Cheetos, bacon, and naked pictures. Thank you for tuning in and subscribe on iTunes. Rock out when you rack out, and consider yourself moosed.